a romantic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think, like many of us, I'm very protective of my heart and matters of the heart. So I'm an enormous romantic, but it just takes me a while to get there. But once I do, I'm at your beck and call.
It's wild how fast a headline can freeze over in the city. One moment, it's written off as a quiet, forgettable split. Then Pierre finally breaks the silence. And suddenly, everything we thought we knew about his relationship with Teyana Taylor collapses in on itself. This was the couple fans swore would last. The duo people were already planning wedding bells for before they ever confirmed they were together. But now that Aaron has spoken, the truth isn't the juicy chaos everyone was waiting for. No infidelity, no backstabbing, no explosive fallout. According to him, it all came down to a single factor: timing. Two careers shooting straight up at the same time, crashing into each other instead of moving in sync. Fame didn't protect the relationship. It put pressure on every crack. And with Aaron finally telling his version, the narrative is bending. What once passed as a clean, storybook ending now feels raw, complicated, and uncomfortably human. The internet is scrambling to reassess a romance that, if Aaron is to be believed, was never as flawless as it looked from the outside.
Here's the part that took me out. Women are already flooding Aaron's comments, trying to get his attention, because he posted a very, very fine as hell picture of himself. All right, that's what he posted.
We never clocked it coming, which feels ironic considering how loudly they announced everything without ever saying a word. Looking back, it's almost funny how easily we bought into one of Hollywood's slickest silent rollouts in years. Think back to February, the 15% Pledge Gala in Los Angeles. There they were, standing close, smiling like they were in on a secret no one else had cracked yet. At first, it played as coincidence. Two beautiful, powerful names moving through the same rarefied room. End of story. Until the Vanity Fair Oscars afterparty. That's the place where relationships don't debut. They reveal themselves. They didn't walk in together, but the photos inside did all the talking. The looks held a beat too long. The body language was too familiar. The comfort was undeniable. By March, curiosity turned into fixation. Then Teyana Taylor posted that black and white Oscars carousel with a caption that hit like a declaration. No gray area. The internet spiraled. For once, people believed it wasn't manufactured. It felt real. Then Pierre showed up in the teaser for Teyana's Escape Room visual album. That kiss didn't spark conversation. It detonated it. Fans weren't just rooting, they were calling it destiny. Two creatives, both on the rise, both newly unattached, colliding at full speed. But hindsight has a cruel clarity. That level of intensity rarely sustains itself. In this city, fires like that blaze fast, and they usually leave damage behind.
Here's the problem. Pierre was too fine. See, ladies, this is what you get. And this is why I say, this is why you got to get an ugly man. Or even not an ugly man, you got to get a medium ugly man. You got to get a man with a great personality. Because see, when you get a man like Pierre with that height, those eyes, the cheekbones, the abs, you're going to have to deal with all of this. The women circling around.
The next surge came in June, Pierre's 31st birthday. Teyana went big, planning a surprise celebration and making it Instagram official with a caption that sent fans into a frenzy. Cheers to 31 and many more wins. Screenshots spread instantly. Emojis were overanalyzed. And Aaron's response: now and always. Thank you, Tay. Read less like a comment and more like a promise. From the outside, it all looked easy, effortless. Two people perfectly aligned. Around that same time, Teyana spoke about him softly in interviews, calling him gentle, saying he made her feel safe. For someone coming out of a highly public divorce, that wasn't throwaway praise. That sounded like recovery, like trust returning. Sources even claimed she called him her apple pie. A nickname that meant more than sweetness, comfort, familiarity, the idea of home after upheaval. For a moment, it truly felt like she'd landed somewhere solid. And then something shifted. The noise dropped. Red carpet sighting stopped. Photos quietly disappeared. Tags vanished. Likes that once came instantly were suddenly missing. No unfollowing. No public fallout. Just intentional space. By late fall, fans started to sense it. One viral TikTok captured the mood perfectly, from everywhere to nowhere overnight. So when Page 6 confirmed the breakup, it didn't shock, it unsettled. No cheating headlines. No public implosion. Just two people choosing silence. And in Hollywood, that kind of quiet almost always means the real story is still waiting beneath the surface.
It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. All kind of sharks going after this man. Old sharks, young sharks, cougar sharks, male sharks, menopausal sharks, baby sharks, baby mama sharks.
When Aaron Pierre finally chose to speak, it caught everyone off guard. There was no anger, no theatrics, not even a hint of defensiveness. What came through instead was fatigue. Real, bone-deep weariness. Timing, he said, quietly, like someone who had already mourned the ending long before the world caught on. And the more he explained, the more it clicked. Teyana Taylor's life was erupting in every direction at once. Golden Globe attention, Oscar whispers, a critically praised album, non-stop roles. She was everywhere, New York, London, everywhere in between, moving with the kind of momentum most artists only dream of. And Aaron wasn't standing still either. His calendar was just as unforgiving. DC's Lanterns, the Starfighter project tied to Star Wars alongside Ryan Gosling. Another major release lined up for early next year. They weren't just busy. They were orbiting separate worlds. At that altitude, love stops being about feeling and starts being about logistics. From the outside, they checked every box. 2 creatives. 2 heavy hitters. 2 driven forces. But according to people close to them, that symmetry became the fracture. 2 alphas in one relationship. One industry insider summed it up bluntly. It sounds sexy, until it doesn't. Eventually, someone has to ease off the gas. Neither did. What they shared reportedly turned into a cycle of airport hellos, 48-hour reunions, and constant goodbyes. That wasn't a loss of desire. It was burnout. And even after the split, a sense of respect hung in the air. Likes didn't disappear. Subtle support stayed intact. When Teyana arrived alone at a major afterparty, glowing and untouched by the noise, fans labeled it liberation. But freedom can have a hollow echo. Then came Aaron's final Instagram post. No caption. Just a still image and silence. He didn't explain. He didn't clean up the comments. And somehow, that quiet refusal to speak any further felt louder than anything he could have said.
When I tell y'all, when it comes to available men, sometimes we women are just too thirsty. Okay? Now, I think everybody knows, we were all shocked to read reports that Teyana Taylor and Aaron Pierre split up over the holidays. They did. That is such a hot couple gone to waste. They are so, together. They were so beautiful.
The irony is impossible to miss. The same timing that pulled them into each other's orbit is the very force that eventually split them apart. Escape Room wasn't just the name of Teyana Taylor's project. It slowly became the unspoken metaphor for their relationship. 2 people caught inside accelerating lives, trying to make love work under relentless schedules, constant travel, and careers that refused to pause. That video, once read as proof of togetherness, now plays like a relic. The looks linger longer. The softness cuts deeper. Every touch feels haunted by what we now know. It almost feels as if they sensed the ending before anyone else did. Like the goodbye started quietly, far ahead of the headlines. Still, not everyone is convinced by the clean break narrative. Fans have revisited Teyana's final interviews, noticing how careful she was, how controlled her tone became, like someone choosing each word as if it could wound. When she spoke about walking a straight path, unguarded, open to whatever her momentum and conflicting timelines would bring, it sounded graceful. But it also sounded like readiness, like she was bracing herself to release something she could no longer hold. Aaron Pierre's comments about protecting his creative autonomy only intensified the theories. Those close to him say he cared deeply for her, but slowly felt himself receding as her spotlight expanded. An old Hollywood imbalance. The quiet presence beside the unavoidable headline. Online, people joked that their love was a limited series, not a long-running franchise. But that's exactly the truth of it. There was no scandal to distract from the ending. No villain to blame. Just 2 people who meant something to each other, pulled apart by success accelerating faster than love could possibly follow.
It's honestly, I'm an introvert. Like, despite my career choice as an actor, an artist, I'm actually an introvert and somewhat of a recluse. So a lot of this year, the reception, I've been enjoying it and receiving it in the comfort.
Now the question circling everywhere is simple but loaded. Is this really over, or just a pause? Hollywood lives for a comeback chapter, and chemistry like theirs doesn't evaporate just because award season rolls in. Insiders are already wagering they'll end up in the same rooms again, after parties, premieres, maybe even sharing a stage. You can already see the image forming. Teyana Taylor draped in gold, Aaron Pierre in black. A brief, careful embrace for the cameras that communicates everything and absolutely nothing. In this city, endings don't happen. They just get rebranded. What makes it even more compelling is the silence that followed Aaron's confession. Neither of them rushed to clarify or contradict. Teyana buried herself in work, flooding her feed with behind-the-scenes moments, smiling like someone who's learned how to alchemize heartbreak into forward motion. Aaron mirrored that energy, spotted at fashion weeks across Europe, offering interviews that leaned philosophical rather than intimate. "Let things unfold as they're meant to," he once said. Translation: no resentment, just wounds that haven't fully healed. But here's the murmur growing louder in certain circles. What if the timing explanation is simply the courteous version? Some sources suggest the relationship unfolded with almost clinical precision. Red carpets, a perfectly timed kiss in an album teaser, appearances aligning neatly with major career beats. In Hollywood, chance often disguises itself as design. Maybe the spark ignited on camera before it ever became private. And somewhere along the way, authenticity and performance tangled together. If that's true, it explains the ending. Not a blow-up, not a scandal, but a soft retreat the moment the spotlight burned too hot for love to keep standing in it.
Yeah, I had a hard time listening to him. She heard blah, 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 blah. I am just like, I heard it, I received it, I respect it. But your eyes are unfair. Like, they're unfair. Like, I can be your mom, but I'm just, wow, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. It's hot in here. I'm kidding.
That's why the ending landed with such force. It wasn't just two people quietly parting ways. It was the unraveling of a fantasy everyone had a hand in building. Back in November, Teyana Taylor gave that now-quoted interview where she said, "If I call him my boyfriend, it's because we decided it together." Looking back, that wasn't a boast. It was a line in the sand, a subtle reclaiming of control. After enduring a very public breakup that turned her private pain into public entertainment, she wasn't willing to repeat the cycle. At the same time, Aaron Pierre's camp was allegedly moving with intention, keeping his rising franchise path free from tabloid noise. Their mutual quiet wasn't random. It was strategy. It was self-preservation. But silence has never stopped speculation. Comment sections transformed into think tanks. Think tanks spiraled into conspiracies. Some fans insisted the relationship felt too curated, more like a trailer for a prestige film than a lived-in romance. Others pushed back, saying the restraint was exactly what made it feel genuine. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Both things can be true. In Hollywood, sincerity and performance are often braided together, and the industry feeds just as eagerly on truth as it does illusion. Then came the lie detector clip. Teyana laughing while saying she never called him a fiancé. Light-hearted on the surface. But the internet heard distance. Heard past tense. Heard avoidance. 15 seconds of uneasy laughter reopened everything. Suddenly, the story shifted again. It wasn't just mistimed schedules anymore. It was emotional withdrawal. And that's how fixation takes hold. The same fans who once wrote digital love letters were now analyzing glances, vocal inflections, and pauses, turning absence into evidence and silence into a spectacle.
I need to know from you, what was it like when you saw his viral spirit tunnel?
You want to know how it was for me?
What was it like, Regina? What you got, girl?
No, it was impressive.
It was impressive.
It was
Elaborate.
impressive.
Elaborate. Somebody said yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. You know, well, he's very handsome.
Yes.
At the same time, Teyana Taylor was quietly commanding every space she stepped into. Paul Thomas Anderson calling her singular, Taraji P. Henson declaring, "She's just that girl." Praise like that doesn't just boost ego, it locks you into a higher orbit. Aaron Pierre, meanwhile, was under a very different kind of weight. Blockbuster gravity. The kind that turns every press stop into a test. Sharing the screen with Ryan Gosling doesn't invite good enough. It demands precision. Almost overnight, both of them were cornered by momentum. Different sound stages, different continents, same expanding gap. People close to them say even when they tried to find their way back, it felt like living parallel lives that never aligned at the right second. And here's where the story turns almost lyrical. After the split, Teyana didn't sour. She stayed soft, liking his posts, offering subtle acknowledgments during live moments. "He handled me like a cup of tea," she once said. That sentence echoed everywhere, replayed like a line from a song fans couldn't get out of their heads. Then Aaron shared that photo. Half light, half shadow. No words attached. The comment section flooded instantly. "She's your tea. Don't let her go cold." It's strange how audiences romanticize endings, but maybe that's why this one won't fade. No antagonist. No betrayal. Just timing that refused to bend. Sources say the clean ending wasn't by chance. Both sides reportedly chose restraint. No leaks. No finger-pointing. In today's Hollywood, ambiguity is more valuable than chaos. And every wistful post, every unanswered question, proves exactly how well that strategy is holding.
Oh my God, those close-up we should get a close-up. Those are like mesmerizing, beautiful.
Thank you.
What color are they?
I don't know.
I'll find out. I'll tell you what. So wait, you knew it.
And yet, there's something about this story that refuses to lie still. Maybe it's the way Erin Pierre sidesteps her name in interviews, as if saying it out loud might peel back a scar that never properly closed. Or the way Teyana Taylor brightens the moment love is mentioned, only to pivot quickly toward work, focus, direction, momentum. That kind of control doesn't feel random. It feels unresolved. There's a low hum beneath the surface, the sense that we haven't actually seen the last scene. Because if what broke them was timing, then the question becomes unavoidable. What happens when timing changes? Awards season has returned. Red carpets are stacking up. Overlapping circles mean overlapping spaces. Hollywood is far too tight for two stars of this magnitude to keep missing each other forever. And when they do cross paths again, anything is possible. Maybe it's just a courteous smile, a brief embrace for the cameras. Or maybe beneath the bright lights and practiced indifference, something flickers back to life. Because Hollywood's favorite storyline isn't loss, it's resurrection. There's something cinematic about the idea of two people who couldn't align during their scent finally finding clarity once the dust settles. Maybe this was never meant to be permanent, but instructive. Proof that even the most electric connections can burn out when ambition leans too close to the fire.
So, what do you think?
Was it genuine love undone by timing, or a flawlessly staged chapter that even they couldn't fully separate from reality? Sound off below. And if history tells us anything, it's that this story isn't finished yet.